This isn't my normal sort of car stuff and stuff that I put on YouTube. This is more, I do make short movies and stuff, but it's very hard by yourself, especially with no money. So what I'm looking for here is funding from somebody, a producer, a production company, or NZ On Air, or anybody, to research this. What we've got is a collection of postcards from the early 1900s. Some of them were sent by two of these guys. One is became Captain J.H. Golding, and he was killed in Gallipoli. There's a letter to him, killed in action, to him, I think from his wife. Anyway, killed in action. But what happened, from what I gather, when they had the bicycles, they were touring New Zealand, sending Miss Vera Tolan postcards. She was a collector of postcards in the early 19th century, about 1904. So what I've got here is hundreds and hundreds of postcards, not just from Golding and his mates on the bikes, but from all over the world, because people used to swap and change postcards in them days. It was before cameras almost, sort of style. So I've got heaps of them, and what I want to do is, I need a handwriting specialist or somebody to research, but there has to be a story in here somewhere where the lads here, especially Golding, there were surveyors, or student surveyors, and then they toured New Zealand on bicycles, sending cards to Vera Tolan. All of these are sent to Vera Tolan, and then she eventually married him, and they moved to Auckland. And I've tracked somewhere that he was killed in Gallipoli, and Sid, who was an Aussie, I think he's the bare-haired one, he was killed in the preliminary assault or the mapping of Gallipoli. But there's all kinds of interesting stuff. This is Trentham Camp, and this is once to somebody's daddy, from the daddy, explaining he's in the tent and blah 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 blah. So he's just about to go to war. It's so sad. But this one here, these two here, this is a shipwreck, and it explains that all the guys were lost. This is the day after, and it's all, yeah, it's like history in a shoebox. But there's so much of it. But like I say, I'm not a handwriting specialist. Really, they need to be catalogued in dates, times, and who actually sent them, and who some of the initials are. But the main story would be about Captain Golding, who was killed in Gallipoli, who did marry Vera Tolan. But there's hundreds of them, eh? So any production company or anybody, Peter Jackson, if you do nothing, you're welcome to look through all these, and we'll try and get a short story out of them. Let's see what we can do. The stamps must be worth a few bob anyway. I can't. So, do you know this man?